Hey y'all, Natalie here today, and it's time for another Mixed Media Friday. We are doing this gorgeous layout by Kim Price. It's up there in the top right. So I have that picture of my son, and he's in the hot tub, and it's got lots of pretty blue colors because it was snowing, and the light, it was like twilight. So I decided that I want a pale lavender background page, but I don't have any plain lavender cardstock. So I think that using some acrylic paint with my brayer is the best way to get this. And I did want like some grunge. I think maybe in Kim's original layout, she did a little stamping around the edges. But I definitely get the grunge by applying the acrylic paint with my brayer onto this textured cardstock. It was drying a little faster than I wanted it to. No, I did not put gesso on this page at first because when you're using acrylic paint like this with a brayer, it's such a thin layer that it dries fairly quickly. So I let that dry and I'm happy with it. And it's a little like brighter maybe than what I originally meant to do, but that's okay. It works out. So I have this really heavy white gesso that I'm going to create the pattern of the background. So she has like a little triangular pattern or an L shape, maybe if what you want to call it that, behind the photo, as well as a little splotch down at the bottom. So since I turned my cardstock into like a solid color cardstock, I want to add white gesso so that I can use other colors on top of it to create the mixed media background. So I let that dry, and then I use my stencil here from Kaisercraft to put these tiny little white dots, and that's pretty similar to the stencil that Kim used in her original layout. It was dots. It's really hard to see in that tiny photo, but I will show a photo at the end of her full layout, kind of in a bigger format, so you may see it. So I'm just using that texture paste all over the white area of where I put gesso. So I'm pretty well following her sketch besides the color scheme. Hers is really monochromatic. And so mine, it takes a few turns here, but it ends up being like a mermaid, and that actually ended up inspiring my title. So I added plain water to the dried area there, and then I used my Nuvo shimmering powder in, Atlantic Burst, I think is that color. Or that might be the green color. I'm sorry, I don't know the name and I don't have it in front of me. But it's like a turquoise blue, and then this one is more like a seafoam or turquoise green color. And so I put them next to one another and I kind of allow them to blend. And it's really beautiful. I'm happy with it. But I do know from experience that these watercolors when they dry, they're much lighter. And I do want a brighter look, a darker look. So I go in with this purple, like it's like a dusty purple watercolor. And I want to add that in as well as kind of mix it with the blues to get like a different color purple. And I'm not going to lie, at first, once I finish all of this messing around with paint, I'm not really happy with the results. But as typically with watercolors, once I went through and did a second layer and darkened them up, it really gave me the effect that I was looking for more. And also you have to remember, like, a lot of this is going to be covered up by the pattern paper and the photo and everything. So if there's a little patch of it here and there that you're really unhappy with, it's probably going to be covered up. But if all else fails, just cover it again in white gesso and start over. I didn't do that. You'll see here in a minute what I'm going for. So it kind of like got muddy, I think, when I added that purple. Maybe it was the purple mixing with the green. It didn't blend really well, but I'm still going after it, right? Like I'm still just throwing it on there. Whatever, it works out. I fix it. So I have that, and I'm not loving it. It's not what I had in mind. You can see my finger tapping, I'm thinking. So I grabbed another metallic-y, shimmery watercolor, and it's in that like seafoam green color. I don't think that's the right color for seafoam, and I'll tell you why. I've always thought that was the color of seafoam, and then when my best friend got married, she kept saying seafoam, but like the color green that she was using wasn't what I had in my head as seafoam. I'm probably thinking the Crayola seafoam color, and it just was not the same thing because I Googled it and she was correct, and it was more like a very mature green color. Anyway, I digress. Anyway, I added in another shimmer watercolor in a deeper blue, and that worked out better. And I know it looks like a hot mess here, but I promise once we pile everything on top, it actually ends up looking good. But this is where I really, with the shimmer and the shine, I was like, wow, it looks like a mermaid's fin. And he's in the water in the hot tub, and I was like, boom, that's going to be my title. So I grabbed this beautiful, gorgeous glitter cardstock, and I'm showing you that I'm going to cut that out and use that as well later. But I cut the little chevrons out of this like literal mermaid colored cardstock. It's like turquoise and green glitter. I will say that I kind of didn't really intend for those to be so big, but that's okay. They work out. So I have this sheet that I had used with a gel press, but it had all the right colors on it. The purple, the turquoise, I'm still going to call it seafoam, but it had aqua and turquoise. Are those the same color? I think those are the same color, but anyway, I'm going to use that die from Tim Holtz to cut out a snowflake, and that's going to be my round element. And you can kind of see I'm giving you an idea, but I need the rectangular piece that goes behind the photo. So I grabbed this really old Bo Bunny winter collection that is also the same colors, and I used this, off screen, they were just really big blocks of glitter, right? So I die cut little hearts out of the middle of them, and I'm really happy with how that looks. Now I'm going to use just a plain shimmery white, and it's not going to be coloring any of this page, but it's going to give it a shimmery tint to it, so that I am now going to use it to die cut the alphas for my title. So I sewed down in the middle of all those chevrons just like a turquoise thread through the middle, and then I bent them up on each side to give dimension. I have that Bo Bunny paper that I'm going to use as the rectangle, and then I also die cut a little lavender piece. I did have cardstock that was just like a really small piece. It wasn't enough for a whole background. So I die cut that with the Folk Edge die by Pink Fresh Studio, because I cannot make a layout without something from Pink Fresh Studio. It's just impossible for me. So it's really coming together, and I have the title there, but I feel like the layering pieces need something more. So I go through and I add in that little piece of vellum, and it's just such a small thing, but I really feel like it gave it what it needed. So I'm going to start building it up. I do pop some stuff up on some foam. I'll take this chance to let you know that this is a hop with the Mixed Media Frenzy core group, and I will link them all down below, so check them out and see their take on this layout. I love to see how everybody always interprets the layouts in such different ways. And again, this is from Kim Price. I couldn't find her on Instagram though, sorry. So I couldn't link to her, and her blog was private. But her images were found on Pinterest. So the title, I die cut with my Concord and Night double cut dies, and it says Winter Merman. And I'm just gonna like put that in the same kind of rounded way that the original page had. And then I had that last chevron, and I sewed it down in the opposite direction in that little splotch there at the bottom, with the same little heart cut out of the middle. And I'm going to add a little bow up there, and I have these 3D stickers from Paper House Productions that are mermaids, and there's just one tail that is perfect, and I'm going to like stick that down below. And yeah, I love that little piece of embellishment. And the last thing I'm going to do is add white splatter, because it was snowing, and I did a tiny bit of journaling, and it talked about how the snow was getting stuck on his eyelashes, and we just had such a fun, very brief time in the hot tub while it was snowing the other day, and it was fun. So I'm just going to add these really beautiful iridescent little sequins that came out of this cute little glass jar. I picked these up at Target like a million years ago, and I've literally never opened them before today. So those were the last finishing touch that I just absolutely love on this page. You can see them in the close-ups, which are coming up. I thank you so much for watching. Please like and subscribe, and make sure to hop along down below. You can come join us in our Facebook group and scrap lift along with us, and I would love that. I'll link that down below as well. Thanks for watching, y'all. Also, my A Cherry on Top affiliate link is down below, and Paper House Productions affiliate link too, if you want to go grab those mermaids. Thanks for watching, y'all. Bye.